Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider supporting me or supporting the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. It helps to get the videos out there and it inspires me to keep creating. Sorry if my voice sounds a little weird. My allergies are killing me today. The pollen and the ragweed and whatever else is in the air has been insane in my area. So sorry in advance if I sound a little stuffy. Also, I have a channel membership that for just an extra dollar a month, you can go that extra mile to support the channel, to support the content. It really means the world to me. And you guys have really been riding for this channel because we also hit 7,000 subscribers over the weekend. Thank you guys so much. I never ever expected that we would hit 7,000. I started this channel last year randomly when I got laid off last February. So it's been just a little bit over a year, like a year and a half coming up, that I've had this channel. And I never thought that over 7,000 of you would be sitting here rambling, listening to me ramble and babble and talk about TV shows. It's really crazy. So I don't know. I feel like so accomplished on YouTube. It's so crazy because I know y'all mean well when you'll put comments like, oh my God, girl, you're about to blow up. But it's like, I feel like I've already blown up for the size of my channel, for the fact that I started this channel from the ground up by myself. Like, I don't have anything. I don't have any backing. I just have done this on my own. So I know you guys mean well. I'm not offended by the comments, obviously, but I feel like I already have blown up and I feel like I already have success on this platform. And whenever people do ask me like, oh, YouTube tips, or I want to start my channel, the biggest tip that I always tell people is to kind of decouple your idea of success from what actually happens here on YouTube. Because if you're so pressed to compare yourself to your favorite creator who's been on this platform for 5 years, 10 years, however many years, you're going to feel very disappointed and burnt out very quickly. All of the small wins mean so much to me on this platform, and looking at my analytics and just seeing my average video, not a video that obviously has blown up and popped off, but even just seeing my average videos, the overall view count on my average videos is significantly higher than when I started last year, significantly higher than 3 months ago. The number is always slowly increasing. And of course, it varies per show. Certain shows just have more traction, and that's normal. But whew, all of that to say, I could not do this without you guys. This channel has really made such an impact in my life, and every single one of these wins feels like success to me. Obviously, my main goal for this year is to hit 10K, but even hitting 7K at the beginning of this year, guys, I had 5K. I was just over 5K when I started this year. So we are making goals, we are making progress, and I could not do it without you guys. Some of you guys I see in every comment section and I read them. And even those of you that are new that come to the channel, it means a lot to me. So I really want to take a moment to say that. Now, today we are going to be talking about a few more pieces of Love is Blind news because, baby, some of these cast members I feel like have been wilding out. We are going to talk about that pregnancy announcement. I'm sure some of y'all have seen it already or seen content about it. We are going to talk about Ashley's comments after the interview. And lastly, Matt and Colleen. We are going to talk about the three of them. Let's jump into this news. So, our first piece of news is that AD and Ollie insert the vid here. Obviously, as people say, a baby is a blessing. So congratulations. I'm not going to sit here and say anything snarky. If this is what AD and Ollie wanted, then of course, congratulations is in order for them. The main things I want to touch on is that, number one, this announcement is very conveniently placed. I would imagine that AD was not planning to announce this pregnancy at this present moment. I think there are some convenient timing things regarding this announcement, their engagement. I think there's a lot there where I don't really think the intended plan was to announce this pregnancy. But if you live under a rock, then obviously, you know, AD is getting a lot of heat and a lot of smoke for the interview she did with Ashley, between her lack of preparedness, between her shots at the girls here on YouTube who have literally done all of the work for her that she claims she did herself, between the lack of holding her accountable because she wasn't aware of anything. I think AD has just been getting a lot of heat this week. So I would imagine that her management, her PR has told her, hey, this is the best way to shift the narrative, shift it back to a congratulations, shift it back to happy moments. And obviously, it is sad to be pregnant and going through some of the happiest times of your life and seeing nothing but hate. I don't know that I've seen a positive word on that interview. I kid you not. I have scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. And I think all of the content being made about it, all of the responses, all of the comments on the videos, all of the comments on my videos, all of the comments on Jesse Wu, Ricky, you know, they made their live. It's just everything has been such an outpouring of negativity for AD and Ashley. And of course, I think this interview was a terrible idea. I don't know why Ashley did this. I remember saying in previous videos, being like, Ashley, if you break up with Tyler, you better not come on some platform and tell us all, because it's not going to go the way you think it is. So I do think that AD's management was definitely like, how can we shift the narrative back to positivity on AD, and what way to do it rather than announce a pregnancy. Now, she hasn't announced how far along she is. There were some sonogram pictures at the end. I didn't post the full announcement because it's a long video with copyrighted music. But they did post a sonogram at the end of it, and it does, I mean, you can see the baby on the sonogram, so she must be relatively far along. Obviously, in the video, you can see a bump there. So like I said, not sure what the original plan was going to be regarding the announcement and how far she is, but you know, congratulations are in order to she and Ollie. But anyway, regardless of how this went, I think that, you know, congratulations are in order. And as I said, we know AD, this is the life she wanted. She wanted to be married. She wanted to have a baby. She wanted that very traditional life as a wife. And so I think for her, I'm glad to hear that. But I do find it a bit interesting considering the fact that you didn't have more smoke for Ashley and her lack of care for those kids. While being pregnant with your own, I would suppose, doing this interview. So I'm surprised she didn't have a little bit more smoke for Ashley during that interview. But again, congratulations are in order. It is not to snark on her. I just think that announcement is crazy. I think that is really random. I don't think we were at all expecting that. But I will say, their timeline of getting engaged, AD and Ollie, to me seemed very accelerated. So maybe that gives us a little bit of answers. Moving on, Ashley also had some comments after the interview that she did with AD. So, while AD has not publicly made any comments about the interview, and I don't expect that she will, Ashley has still been on Instagram fighting for her life tooth and nail regarding some of the things she said. She actually posted these two things on her Instagram story, but it's her responding to the comments. So I'll put it on the screen, but I'm also going to read what she said. So this first comment says, "Ma'am, I was not keeping up with what the world was posting when I was drowning in real life. I was almost fully untapped from social media during that time for my mental health. During a moment when my whole world was flipped upside down, I had to navigate this in my home while being in the public eye, something you couldn't begin to fathom." I'm going to pause her right there because Ashley, you were up in the comments responding to people fighting tooth and nail, telling them they ain't never been married before. They don't get your experiences. Mind your business. Girl, you were on social media. You were on social media. And in the interview you just did with AT, you admitted that you would stay up all night scrolling through things. What were you scrolling through if not social media? What do we scroll through if it's not social media? Tyler's computer that you found the gold mine on that conveniently had the same information that Jesse Wu, Simone, and Ricky dropped? I'll wait. But anyway, okay, Ashley. Let's keep going. The things that I found are not public knowledge. This is my last time saying this. I did not refer to the internet for proof. I said what I wanted to find it myself, not look for social media to end a marriage. And maybe some of you don't agree with that. Maybe some of you think I should have paid attention to social media. I was navigating the best that I knew how at the time. Ending my marriage wasn't on my bingo card. I was spiraling. If you don't understand that, fine, cool. We have different ways of viewing things and your opinions is valid to you. But please don't speak to what is true to me in my actual life. I was the one ending it. Kindly, Ashley. Okay, girl, why are you signing this like this is an email or a thank you card? We don't need you to do all of that. And honestly, you say you didn't refer to the internet, but the information you're putting out there is everything that was regurgitated from videos. You say you found things that are not public. Why are you protecting him so badly when he's the one that supposedly terrorized you? You have smoke for everyone else in the world except for that man. Why? Why? She added more comments. She said, I've tried not to look or address any social media comments because every time I open my mouth, I open myself up to scrutiny. However, being on reality TV, I find a sense of necessity to shine light on misconceptions. However, this is no longer my situation, and so these two posts will be the last time I speak on that. Until you have walked in my shoes, you couldn't even begin to imagine. I'm not perfect. I have owned that. Have you? Because you barely apologized. You gave a backhanded apology to Bri and then continued to throw shots at her and the women on this platform that helped you with the information throughout that interview. But you've owned up to it? When did you own up to anything? Okay. So to even think that I would say or do anything the way the world thought I should during a moment whereas my reality was literal chaos is putting me on a pedestal no one should be on. But in the same breath, you talk about repeatedly how you're a public figure and all of these different things. So you're putting yourself on that pedestal, Ashley. Because you're talking about how you're a public figure, but then in the same breath, you're talking about how you're private and you're just a normal person. Which one is it? Are you a public figure or not? As I said on this podcast, this is my tragedy. This was my marriage. I've beaten myself up enough. The accountability I have to own comes from within and acceptance that I made a few wrong moves. I can't erase time. I am doing the work to heal from this trauma. I don't need pity. Please, baby, no one's pitying you. I'm so sorry, but literally no one's pitying you. I didn't speak for that. Just wanted to share and humanize my life circumstance for myself and in hopes that it may help strengthen someone enduring life along the way. Baby, I don't think any of us are inspired by this situation, but she made another post. About the kids. Because remember, once again, she talks about how, all you do is crucify me for how I refer to those kids. So this is her response to somebody. Y'all not gonna keep running this into a hole, spewing lies as if I truly said something derogatory about innocent children. Never once have I. You can't even show me a comment or an interview where I have. I know you lying, Ash. Ashley's a narcissist. Ashley is a narcissist. I know y'all said that from the last interview. Ashley is a narcissist. She is legitimately trying to gaslight us out of the things that we saw on YouTube. What are you talking about, Ashley, that we cannot see a comment? Are you joking? Because you were on the Bio Files talking about how those kids will forget all about Tyler and he'll be not a part of their life whatsoever. Those kids. those kids will forget about him because they're all so young. Those kids, those sperm babies, those sperm babies. They're just sperm babies. That's not derogatory. You were the main one that came on AD's podcast and admitted that you used the wrong word choice, Ashley. If you didn't say anything wrong, then why did you come on AD's podcast and say, okay, yeah, I know that was the wrong choice of words. I'm so sorry. I hope the kids didn't get bullied. What? But we can't show an interview? I know she's lying. This lady is ooh, she's a narcissist. Wow. Okay. Um, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me because it's so far remotely removed, or because it's so far from even remotely being my character. If you watch the interview, I expressed immense concern for the children inadvertently involved and what they might see growing up. Yeah, they're gonna see you, their father's ex-wife, talking about how they would forget all about him and he would forget about them too because they're so young. They're gonna see you talking about how they're just sperm babies. They're gonna see you saying that, Ashley. What are you talking about? How can you be concerned when you didn't care? Oh my God, this lady is a narcissist. Okay. Maybe not the way you would have liked, but I can only be me. I know my heart. I even say that my concern includes the way I have referred to them. To them. You're still talking about them like they're these aliens. To them. To those kids. Girl, why do you have to talk about them like Jesus. Okay, but you all want me to harp on my previous words and my saying of those, which I used to refer to children that weren't mine, or when using the word sperm donor. Why would you call them those? It's like calling something it. Like, it's like calling the kids it or something. Like, come on, Ashley. Ashley is playing in all of our faces, and I'm so tired. I am so tired. This woman thinks she is so smart compared to the rest of us. And she is absolutely playing in our faces. It's actually crazy. This is really narcissistic. And I didn't call her a narcissist last time because I thought that was going too far. When I was watching the interview, I was thinking about it and I was like, this lady's a narcissist. But then I told myself that's going too far. No, she's a narcissist. This is insane. What is wrong with her? Okay. Both of which I said without any, and I mean any ill intent. But instead of listening to the things that I have actually said, you want to run with the narrative that already fits the perception of me that you want, and I can't change that. I wish you well as you navigate this crazy thing we call life. It's everyone else, Ashley. It's everyone in the world misinterpreting you. Every single thing. It's everybody out to get you. It's everybody that has a narrative against you. It's everybody. Jessie Woo and Ricky and Simone wanted to take you down. Like, it's crazy how you are always the victim. But that's part of being a narcissist, that you believe you're always the victim, no matter what. She said also on the post, wrong word choice. Yes, I could see why it was off-putting. I have never owned that, but I have owned that, but I never said anything truly vile or evil about the children, unfortunately, involved. The way some people are implying. It's just not me. And no one can ever make it be me. Moving forward, I am excited for those who are still along for this ride to get to know Ashley for who Ashley truly is. And girl, so be it. Stop coming on platforms and looking for pity or looking for empathy from the general Love is Blind viewing public, because the reality is it's not happening. It's not happening. As you said, and I believe it, you should hang out with your friends, hang out with your family, hang out with the people that know you, that love you, that care about you, that will support you in this journey. But stop looking to the public, girl. It's not happening. You're not getting the brand deals. The rebrand ain't happening. I think we're going to see her on Pop the Balloon Live. Personally, I think when she said, oh, I want to be on another dating show, I instantly thought of Pop the Balloon Live. So we're probably going to see Ashley there at some point. But, stop looking to us Stop looking to the general public to tell you, Ashley, we're on your side, especially when you continue to insult and play in our faces. That's all I have to say, though, on the Ashley interview. And as I said, I did a full video on that interview breaking it down. So that's on my channel if you want to check it out. Last but not least, Matt and Colleen. Matt and Colleen had an announcement as well. All right, so Matt and Colleen from season 3, this aired in 2022, I believe. They have announced their divorce. If you don't remember this couple, Matt and Colleen, they were a very odd couple. Matt was pretty aggressive, and it was definitely giving that Colleen was a bit stuck in a corner. We never had any full evidence, but I definitely remember that Matt had a temper, and it was very, very clear that something was off. In addition to that, this couple, they never moved in together. When we got to the reunion, they were talking about how they were going to plan to move in 6 months. They were going to plan to move in a year, but they never got to the point of living together. So there was always speculation between Matt's temper, how Colleen was sort of reacting, the fact they never lived together, that they actually were not together anymore, and they have finally confirmed that they are no longer married. So Matt and Colleen have released a joint statement. Let's read it. Hi, everybody. We wanted to share something personal, and this is not easy to do, but after nearly 4 years together, we've decided to end our marriage and move forward on our own paths. We've been separate for some time now and have been doing our own best work through have been doing our best to work through everything privately and with care. This was an incredibly difficult decision, not one we made lightly. It came with a lot of thought, and it's been an emotional process for both of us. We met in the most unique and unexpected way, and we'll always be grateful for the love and memories we shared. There's not one thing we would change, and we continue to have deep respect and care for one another. Thank you to everyone who has supported us. We kindly ask for compassion as we navigate through this transition. Colleen and Matt. So I don't think anyone's surprised, and I'm not saying this in a snarky way or anything of that way. I don't think anyone is surprised. It was very clear this couple was not together. I remember, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I remember them saying just because things look a certain way doesn't mean that it is that way. And I do remember recently them talking again about how they were planning to move in together very, very soon. I think Colleen had released a statement, but it's very clear that this marriage was just dragging along by a thread. I'm happy for Colleen. Again, Matt, to me, he gave a very sinister vibe on the show. And of course, we have no proof of anything, so I'm not making a direct accusation. But I just feel like it was very clear that there was some tension there. And I think it's best that they broke up. I think it's best that they went their separate ways. So anyway, that is what I got for today. So if you made it to this point of the video, that means you liked the video. So I would greatly appreciate if you would consider supporting the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. It helps to get the videos out there, and it inspires me to keep creating. Let me know what you think about these stories. What do you think about all of these different situations going on? Let's talk in the comments, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!